This winter, don't wonder about safe driving. Instead, swing by Les Schwab Tire's Winter Don't Wonder event. Then don't wonder if you have the right tire, because we're introducing our best all-terrain tire ever, the new Open Range AT, only at Les Schwab. Specifically designed so you don't wonder about safe driving. Also, save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires, depending on tire size, on last year's bestseller, the Open Country AT2. Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing matters. Click on the banner to learn more.
Blog Talk Radio.
Specialist of the Strange. I'm Dakota Frandsen. Tonight, we have a very special and very important broadcast. Today is November 30th, 2018. Tomorrow is the 1st of December. Therefore, we are officially within Christmas season. That, along with some projects on my own end, have led me to the decision to discuss a troubling topic. For those of you who might be sensitive to this sort of thing, I must inform you that this is merely a way to try to help people. This is not meant to attempt to glorify suicide in any way, shape, or form. This is merely a discussion of an unfortunate reality. If you or someone you know is contemplating suicide, or even has troubles with domestic violence, wanting to run away from home, things of that nature, I have taken the liberty of gathering up an international list of helplines may be of use to you. Simply look into the description of this episode, and there's a link. That link will take you to a blog post that'll provide you some information. I urge you to take a look at it, even if everything is going well. Save it somewhere. Be sure to share it amongst your Facebook or your Twitter feeds. So that way, maybe, just maybe, someone who really needs that information will get it and be able to make the right moves. The initial plan for this episode started with my own suicide story. Was brought into the mainstream on a YouTube channel called Strange but True Stories. Some of you who have followed my journey this far may already know. Some of you may have heard the story on that channel and decided to take a listen to this broadcast. For those of you unaware, there was a time in my life where the worst of thoughts got to me and I contemplating ending my life. But something stopped me. Something that seemed to be an archangel. However, it wasn't this alleged angel visit that caught my attention. It was a little girl who he had with him, calling me daddy and begging me not to do it. In order to save time, I won't go into all the details of this story. And I'm not trying to say that I'm anyone special. I'm just trying to do the right thing and maybe help someone. Which brings me to a point that I wanted to elaborate for people who have maybe heard the story on Strange but True Stories. I found it interesting that there seem to be many people who automatically went to terms like, praise the Lord and angels walk among us. That is not the point of me sharing my story. The point is to help, hopefully, give someone the inspiration to keep moving. See that life is worth fighting for, no matter the situation. You got to take the right steps on your own in order to see it through so it can get better. That was my intent all along. Some of you have taken the time to reach out to me, thanking me for posting this story. Others have tried to claim that I tried to take the attention to them, immediately jumping to terms like, oh, by the way, I'm not the girl's mother and things like that. Oh, and if you didn't want to be found, then you should have done better to hide yourself. I want to be found. I don't care what people think of me anymore. Because I know that all of my experiences in life can be used to help someone, no matter how strange or weird or nearly impossible they may seem. I just wanted to elaborate on that. And also include this on the miniseries Strange Safety. Conversations with someone very close to me made it clear just how much this is a topic of discussion that needs to be had. I'll admit, while the topic of potentially losing someone you love by their own hand is possibly one of the saddest things to happen, it gets to be a little different light when you see it happen with your own eyes, or you have it happen to yourself or someone that you love. I want to relay this message to anyone who might be hurting themselves, contemplating hurting themselves. Be it rough family relations or a recent breakup, whatever the case may be. No one is worth killing yourself over. Lest you yourself were throwing your own body into a line of fire to save another's life. No one is worth harming yourself over. Reach out. It's okay to talk. There are people out there who will understand. No matter who they may be, people are out there that will understand and do their best to help you. To the person discussed a few private matters that I won't go into over this show, if you're listening. Just know the thought of losing you scares the hell out of me. Maybe it's selfish and you want to keep you around in my life as much as possible, but that is the truth. But if you honestly feel like I'm the only person you can really come to, then please come to me. I don't care if you have to wake me up in the middle of the night. I'd rather know that you were doing something to reach out and help yourself feel better than to find out somehow that I'll have to look through you before you through the shadows. And that's a point I want to also reiterate to someone who might be contemplating hurting themselves that's listening to this broadcast. I want you to think. Sit back, breathe, and think. Is it really worth it? Think about how your average day goes. Who's going to be the first one to find you? Is it going to be your significant other? Is it going to be a parent getting ready to wake you up for school because they think you overslept your alarm? Is it going to be your little brother or little sister sneaking into your room because they know you haven't been feeling well and they just wanted to check up on you? Think about who's going to be the one to find you. And whoever that person is that hurts you to the point that you feel like you need to hurt yourself, fuck them. All right? It's a greater testament to strength. It is a greater testament to who you are. And it is a greater victory for yourself. Sticking around when those who want to see you hurt even try their hardest to make it happen. And like I said, I put together a nice little list for you. And I even taken the liberty of researching international helplines. So no matter where in the world you may be, you might be able to find yourself some help. But what about those of us on the other end? Those who haven't reached that point to where our mind slips. Or maybe we have, and we want to know more so we can help prevent others from meeting the same fate. Throughout my journey, I've done a lot of research when it comes to psychology, police procedure, things like that, forensic science. And there is a 5-stage rating system that I have put together that I'm going to share with you tonight. So that way, if someone comes up to you and you are legitimately concerned about them, you might be able to gauge just how bad they really are. The only thing that this will entail, the only thing that you will absolutely need to do, regardless of the situation, is simply pay attention. If you want to be able to have a chance to divert those thoughts, simply check in on your friends from time to time. Simply say, hey, what's up? Thought I'd check on you. Showing small acts of kindness, even to total strangers, can have effects that you wouldn't even imagine. So what is this 5-stage system that I put together? If you look around online, in most cases, you'll see the stages. There's only 4 stages. However, the one I put together considers 5 possible outcomes. 5 stages. Each more severe than the ones before. So I'm going to go into detail right now. The first stage is depression. Now, this is a term loosely used, as stage 1 usually indicates that something has happened, like a breakup, death in the family, the loss of a job. Something has happened to upset the person. And when they are at stage 1, they're not necessarily talking about suicide. They may be talking about wanting to get away for a bit, just to breathe. And that's okay. But when they are at stage 1, nothing really needs to be done other than simply being there for your friend. They may already have issues with depression, so they may technically always be considered stage 1. The system, like most, is kind of a generalized version. But I've run it through a few of my law enforcement contacts, and they seem to agree that it covers most of the more common scenarios. Like I said, stage 1 is simply depression. Something's going on. They're not really thinking about hurting themselves. They're just bummed out. They need a friend. That's it. Moving on to stage 2, I have dubbed contemplation. This is when depression gets aggravated, and the person in question starts to maybe hint at that they don't want to be around anymore. That they're starting to see that potentially that the only way to end their pain, to end their life, they at least talk about it. They start talking about death and suicide and what it would feel like. You may even start to notice that they start losing interest in their favorite hobbies. Things that they would absolutely love to do, would never say no. They suddenly have no interest. You might see a bit of this in stage 1 as well, but it's not as severe. Usually with some coaxing, or you might even be able to drag them out. You might even have to drag them by their feet in order to get them to do it. Usually, if you can convince them to come along for a fun activity, or just simply put in a fun movie, or just spend time with them. Listen to what's on their mind. The fact that you're actually listening and care enough to listen will be enough to help them calm down. Stage 3, I dub experimentation. This is when the thoughts of ending their life become so prevalent, they start making plans. You might even start seeing more dangerous behavior. Like I mentioned, with the favorite activities suddenly having no interest to the person, potentially popping up in stage 1. You might see a little bit of it in stage 2. The notion that they're actually preparing something. You might notice them start speeding through traffic a bit more. Notice changes in sleep patterns. They might acquire more knives, more guns. Simply something to give them the option, just in case they decide to go through with it. Now this is the point where you might need to start considering professional intervention. Stages up to stage 4, someone can be brought back. They can still be helped on the notion that they want to be helped. So if they get to stage 3, seeking professional help or even contacting emergency services. Because not only they may start to actually acquire potential methods, they might start experimenting. Say, but if you think someone who's gotten to this point and you cannot, if you believe you cannot help them, get professional help as soon as possible. Now, that's stage 4, contempt. This is when decided finally go through with it. They may even seem like they're at peace. You might even think that they're feeling better. But be careful at that, because it means the idea of killing themselves no longer scares them. This is the point where you'll also see that they'll start giving away personal belongings. Consider their favorite toy or their favorite basketball or their favorite game. Suddenly get ready to start disappearing. This is when you really need to watch it. Consulting professional help is a definite must because they are getting close to ending their lives. And if you do not pay attention, or if you are stupid enough, and I'm being rough because they're an incident that took place that still pisses me off. If you are stupid enough to obsess over little things and completely ignore this person, and I'm being rough because that is simply how much in danger that person or other people might be. Ignoring it at stage 4 can easily put someone in danger. Because it also can be considered the point of no return in the more extreme cases. Like I said, everything up stage 4, someone can be brought back with the right intervention. Some who deal with this subject a lot longer than I have might disagree. But this is also where I work in stage 5, quarantine. This is when people become so mentally distraught, so mentally unstable. They may even try to consider, they might even use threats of suicide, almost like holding someone hostage. It's like, oh, if you leave me, I'm just going to cut myself. I don't know if I'll be able to live with myself. These people need serious intervention. The chances of them coming back are only possible if they see that what they are doing is not right. No matter the situation may be, they may be in a domestic violence situation and desperate to get away from the person that's abusing them. But this is the point where all hope is lost. And that person might just need to be quarantined. Because there is like 98% chance of them not turning back. I can speak from experience that suicidal thoughts, once you look over that edge, the things you see don't leave you. Those thoughts don't necessarily leave you. But it is possible to overcome and live with it and find a reason to live for. Find reasons to live. Me, I have said this many times before, and I'll probably say it many times again. There's a little series of photos I keep by my bed that I look to as I fall asleep every night and I look to as I wake up every morning. Thankful that I have met these amazing people. Some of them have been I consider my best friends. Some of them have been kids that I've helped through charity work. So a couple are my little cousins who, if you didn't know that my uncle, their father, looks suspiciously a lot like me, you would think they would be my kids. Some of them are my travel family that I am ever so thankful I got to meet, even though we just happened to be on the same trip together. These people, even if there are times where we're getting fed up with each other, we're getting frustrated, they always bring a smile to my face. And having met them helps me live, gives me a reason to keep going. And knowing that I've done something to make a difference in people's lives because of that, that helps me keep going. And you can find your own reasons to keep going yourselves. Things do get better. It may take a while for it to happen, but things do get better. And if you hurt yourself, and if you take your own life, all you're accomplishing is making it so that can't happen. And leaving that pain that you felt on everyone who ever loved you. And there's a couple people that I hope are listening to this broadcast. One is a close family member that's practically like my little brother growing up. Another, the young lady that somehow caught my attention. I can honestly say I consider her one of my best friends. It may be selfish for me to say it, but don't go that far. You got a lot of potential. And to you too, and to those who may need it, I believe in you. You can do this. Whatever's going on, you can overcome it. You have my contact info. Don't ever, ever be ashamed to reach out to me. I know what it's like to feel alone, like you can't turn to anybody. And I'll be damned if I ever let you feel alone. You are worth it. Reach out for help. That's all I have to say. It's hard to believe it's December tomorrow, huh? Tune in next week on the 7th for the next episode. I gotta go. I hope you all have a wonderful night, have a wonderful weekend, and I shall see you next time.
This winter, don't wonder about safe driving. Instead, swing by Les Schwab Tire's Winter Don't Wonder event. Then don't wonder if you have the right tire, because we're introducing our best all-terrain tire ever, the new Open Range AT, only at Les Schwab. Specifically designed so you don't wonder about safe driving. Also, save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires, depending on tire size, on last year's bestseller, the Open Country AT2. Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing matters. Click on the banner to learn more.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.